Media globalization allowed for the widespread obsession with the burqa. It also allowed for the global narrative of unveiling Afghan women. One of the most famous examples is of the Afghan girl, pictured here after a highly publicized search.
Into my lens, and for literally just 2 exposures, just 2 frames, I got this really concentrated, focused, very intense look on her face.
Western media's obsession with unveiling Afghan women stems from an archaic, imperialistic narrative in which the white man must save the brown women from brown men. The global media's attention was on the story of freeing women from Afghanistan. The irony is that they plan to save Afghan women with the very tactics used to oppress women in the United States. With a hyper-sexualized emphasis on Afghan women revealing themselves, a trend dating back to Oscar Wilde, Western media also focused on creating a dominant flow of Western beauty industry rhetoric to create normal lives for the women of Afghanistan. For example, instead of focusing on the underground schools for women, the headlines in Britain and the US featured a beauty school to help Afghan women look their best after unveiling.
Some women are able to work, even in the most public of jobs, while others can now enjoy the simple pleasures they were denied. In the cities, a growing number of women cover only their heads instead of their whole bodies. All of this would have been unthinkable under the Taliban.
The rhetoric surrounding the unveiling of these women painted them as helpless victims with a long list of oppressions.
As the fight for control of this country intensifies, the small, fragile gains achieved by women and their most basic human rights are threatened.
The only problem to this story is that very few women actually did unveil. The Western media was posed to create the glorious happy ending to a tireless narrative, much like the sensationalized photography of the Afghan girl.
The famous eyes flash defiantly, again capturing the attention of the entire world. Sharbat's face reveals the sorrow of war, but for McCurry, it sends a message of both courage and hope.
But the Afghan women did not respond to the call of the cameras. In this way, the women of Afghanistan created a contraflow to the West's dominant input of modern gender roles. After years of demonizing the burqa, the West began to capitalize on it by first incorporating it into high fashion. The veil was on the runway, in vogue, and making its way into an acceptable realm of Western culture after Afghan women did not espouse the dominant flow from Western media.